What if I told you that everything you're grinding for right now, the promotion, the perfect physique, the bigger house, the approval of people who barely matter, what if all of it is quietly stealing your life? I'm 45 years old. I have stage 4 pancreatic cancer. The doctors gave me 6 months. That was 5 months ago. I probably have 4 weeks left, maybe less. And with whatever time I have remaining, I'm going to save you decades of regret, wasted years, and pain I can never recover. This isn't going to be one of those soft, inspirational speeches about living each day like it's your last. This is me furious at myself for the way I lived, and desperate to make sure you don't repeat my mistakes. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. You don't get a warning. You don't get time to prepare. One day you're fine. The next day, a doctor is calmly explaining that you're going to die. And suddenly, everything you thought mattered doesn't matter at all. I was a corporate lawyer, made partner at 38. 6-figure income, corner office. I worked 70-hour weeks for 20 years. I missed my daughter's school plays because I had depositions, missed anniversaries because of trials. I kept telling myself, just a few more years. Just reach this next level. Then I'll slow down. Then I'll have time for my family. Then I'll finally take that trip to Italy my wife keeps talking about. I never slowed down, and I'm never going to Italy. My daughter is 16 now. Last week, she told me she barely knows me. She said, "Dad, you were always there, but you were never really there." She was right. I was physically present sometimes, but mentally I was always somewhere else. Always thinking about the next case, the next client, the next billable hour. You know what's almost funny? 2 weeks after my diagnosis, I received the email I'd been waiting for. They were making me senior partner, the title I sacrificed 20 years for, the thing I convinced myself would make everything worth it. And when I read that email, I felt nothing. Actually, that's not true. I felt rage, because I traded my life for a title that means absolutely nothing now. Here's what I wish someone had told me when I was 25. Success is a terrible goal. I know that sounds insane, but achievement is a trap. You get the promotion, you feel good for 48 hours, then you need the next one. You hit 6 figures, then you want 7. You get the corner office, Then you want the bigger one. It never ends. The finish line keeps moving, and before you realize it, you're 45, dying, and you understand you spent your entire adult life chasing things that never truly mattered. I had a friend, Marcus. We went to law school together. He dropped out after the first year, said he didn't want to spend his life inside courtrooms. I thought he was stupid. He became a high school teacher, made $50,000 a year. I made 3 times that. I felt superior. You know what Marcus did with his life? He coached basketball. He went to every one of his kids' games. He took his wife on weekend trips. He volunteered at a soup kitchen every Sunday. He read books. He learned guitar at 40. He lived. I worked. Last month, Marcus came to visit me in the hospital, and when I looked at him, I realized something that hit me like a punch to the chest. He's the successful one, not me, because he actually lived his life, and I just worked. I accumulated. I achieved. But I never truly lived. Here's the second thing I wish I had understood earlier. The perfect time is never coming. Never. I kept telling myself I'd travel when I retired. I'd learn piano someday. I'd spend more time with my wife after this trial, after I made partner, after we bought the house. Every single one of those afters was a lie. My wife, Sarah, she's 43. We've been married 18 years. Last week, she was sitting beside my hospital bed, and she said, "Remember when we talked about going to Paris for our 10th anniversary?" I didn't remember. She said, "You told me we'd go when work slowed down." Work never slowed down. And now, I'm never going to walk through Paris with my wife. I'm never going to stand under the Eiffel Tower. I'm never going to sit at a small cafe across from her and just be present. Do you know what really haunts me? It's not the huge milestones I missed. It's the ordinary ones. It's Tuesday nights when Sarah wanted to sit on the couch and watch a movie, and I said, "Not tonight. I have to prepare for tomorrow." It's Saturday mornings when my daughter asked me to make pancakes with her, and I said, "Daddy has work to do." It's every single time I chose work over them because I assumed I had unlimited time. I didn't. None of us do. Here's something I've noticed in hospice care. The people who age well, the 80 and 90-year-olds who come visit, the ones who are genuinely peaceful, who still have that spark in their eyes, they figured something out that I never did. They stopped waiting. They stopped postponing joy. They stopped living for someday and started living for today. I met a woman here named Helen. She's 87. She volunteers at the hospice. She told me when she was 50, her husband died suddenly, heart attack. And in that moment she realized she had been waiting her whole life, waiting to travel, waiting to pursue her art, waiting to truly live. So she stopped waiting. She sold her house, bought an RV, spent the next 15 years traveling across the country. She's been to all 50 states. She's painted hundreds of pieces. She has stories in her eyes. She lived more in those 15 years than I did in 45. And here's the part that hurts. I had more money than Helen, more opportunities, more options. But she lived, and I worked. She experienced life. I accumulated things. She was present. I was distracted. Right now, I'm lying in this hospital bed. I can't eat solid food anymore. I can barely walk. I'm on so many pain medications that sometimes I don't even know what day it is. And do you know what I think about? Not the cases I won, not the contracts I signed, not the promotions. I think about that Saturday in 2019 when my daughter begged me to teach her how to ride a bike without training wheels. And I told her I was too tired. I think about the time Sarah suggested a spontaneous weekend trip to the beach, and I said I had too much work. I think about every single moment I said, not now, maybe later, I'm too busy. Those moments are gone. The bike is still in the garage, and I'm never going to teach her how to ride it. The beach is 3 hours away, and I'm never going to feel the sand under my feet with my wife again. This is what I need you to understand. You think you have time. You don't. You think you'll get around to it later. You won't. You think there will be some perfect moment when everything aligns and you can finally start living the life you keep postponing. That moment doesn't exist. The thing you're chasing, the money, the success, the perfect body, the approval, you're not really chasing those things. You're chasing a feeling. You think money will make you feel secure. You think success will make you feel worthy. You think approval will make you feel loved. But here's what no one explains to you. You can choose those feelings right now, right this second. I spent 20 years trying to feel worthy through my career. trying to prove I was enough by making partner, by winning cases, by earning more. And in the end, none of it made me feel worthy. Do you know when I finally felt worthy? Last week, when my daughter held my hand and said she loves me, not because of anything I achieved, not because of my title, not because of my income, just because I'm her dad. That's it. That's the feeling I spent 20 years chasing. And I could have had it any random Tuesday night if I had just closed my laptop and sat beside her. I have a bucket list I'll never finish. Learn Italian, visit Japan, read the classics, write that novel I always talked about, hike the Appalachian Trail, learn to sail. None of it is happening. The list is sitting on my bedside table right now, and every time I look at it, it reminds me of everything I postponed, everything I thought I'd have time for later. But here's what I finally understand. The bucket list isn't the problem. The problem is the word someday. The problem is believing you'll do it after you accomplish something else first. The problem is not realizing that life is happening right now, and every day you delay is a day you will never get back. My daughter turns 17 in 2 weeks. I probably won't be here for her birthday. I definitely won't walk her down the aisle one day. I won't meet my grandchildren. All those moments I thought I was working toward, retirement, grandkids, finally having time, they're not coming. They were never guaranteed. I just assumed they were. Last night, Sarah asked me, if you could go back and change one thing, what would it be? And I told her the truth. I wouldn't change one thing. I would change everything. I would work less, be present more, say no to clients, and yes to my family. I would take the trips, learn the guitar, sit on the couch and watch stupid movies, make the pancakes, teach her to ride the bike, go to Paris. I would live. But I can't go back. The only thing I can do now is tell you this. Don't wait. Don't postpone. Don't trade your life for things that won't matter in the end. Because when you're lying in a hospital bed with a month left, you won't care about your job title. You won't care about your salary. You won't care about how much you weighed or what people thought about you. You'll care about the moments, the small, ordinary, unremarkable, beautiful moments you shared with the people you love. And you'll wish, deeply, painfully, that you had more of them. I have 4 weeks left, maybe less. My daughter is at school right now. My wife is downstairs getting coffee. And I'm lying here thinking about all the time I wasted. All the times I said later. All the times I said I'm too busy. All the times I chose achievement over presence. Don't do what I did. Don't wait for someday. Don't postpone joy. Don't sacrifice your life in exchange for success. Because success without living is emptiness. Achievement without presence is hollow. And money without moments is just numbers on a screen. Live now, right now, today. Call your parents, hug your kids, take the trip, learn the thing, do the uncomfortable thing, be present. Stop waiting for permission to live the life you actually want. I'm out of time, but you're not. Not yet. So the only question that matters is this: what are you going to do with yours?